This is Jessica Heredia reporting for East County Magazine. We're here today with Colin. He is running for the 79th State Assembly District seat that Akilah Weber holds as of now. Congratulations on your bid for the seat, by the way.
Thank you. Always want to clarify that I'm not running against Akilah.
You're not. That's right. You guys are friends, I believe, too. You both served on La Mesa City Council together. And she's done a great job in this position. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your biggest accomplishments that have led you to this point so far.
Yeah, so I first got elected to City Council in La Mesa in 2016 and re-elected in 2020. And I think we made a lot of progress and accomplished a lot of things in that time in La Mesa. I mean, one that I'm very proud of is that we're standing right in front of is this 8181 Allison project. It's the first 100% affordable development in La Mesa in decades. And it's going to 60% of the units are going to be affordable for people at moderate income, people who are making like average incomes, and then 40% are going to be for people who are making different levels of income below that. And so it's going to be a lot of new opportunities for people to live in this this great neighborhood right next to the trolley, as well as having new customers for our local businesses.
Awesome. And how do residents find out more about how to apply?
Yeah, so if you go to the City of La Mesa's website, you can find a tab for 8181 Allison. Okay. And if families are interested in applying for that, then they can fill out their information for the interest list and get that process started. All
right, awesome. I love that. That's really cool that they sort of are targeting two different demographics, not just one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very mixed income.
Which is great for this area.
Yeah.
Awesome. Obviously, with the storm situation that we had about a week or so ago, in your position as state assembly, if you were elected, what would you do to get funding here and basically to maintain and maybe even improve the infrastructure that's already there for the storm drains? Yeah,
so the state of California has a variety of programs for funding stormwater infrastructure, and we need to make sure that we're getting our fair share in the 79th Assembly District. But it's not just that we don't just need money in the district. We need to make sure that it's going to parts of the district that are the most at risk, and that's not always happening. And we've seen a historic disinvestment and underfunding in lower income communities and communities of color, and we need to make sure that we're providing fair, equitable amounts of funding to those communities from these resources from the state.
Okay, great. And then affordable housing, we sort of went over that with this here, and this is a great project. I know a lot of times there's luxury apartments that go in, and then that sort of raises the rents for some of the older housing rentals that would have been typically more affordable before the onset of more luxury apartments. How do we keep a balance so that we have luxury apartments? Definitely there's people that want those as well, so we want to accommodate them. But more programs like this where it's diversified, we're getting low income, we're maybe preventing homelessness. How do we bridge all those gaps?
So I think you've got the order of causation wrong. Okay. So when you see these new apartments that are coming up that are more expensive, right? Those are going to be some more affluent people who live in them. It doesn't raise the rents of the nearby folks. In fact, those people who are more wealthy, they're going to live wherever they want. And if you don't build something for them, then they're going to try to price out the rest of us for stuff that was more traditionally affordable. Right? And so we absolutely need more homes overall. It's really important to make sure that we are producing units that are affordable to lower income people as well, low and moderate income people. And so there's some great programs, some of which that I've had a role in getting the state legislature to adopt, that really provide some meaningful incentives for new developments to include some permanently affordable units in exchange for some more development certainty. And we need to keep building on those kinds of models. So a lot of the projects that you've been seeing coming up in La Mesa, that when you look at the regular rents, they're pretty expensive. But most of those buildings also have some units that are set aside for people with more modest needs, and that's the good kind of marriage of issues that we should be able to try to advance in these new projects.
Okay, and is there anything like at the state level where that is required, or is that all dependent upon each city and their ordinances that they put out?
Yeah, so there's a variety of programs that exist in the state legislature, and actually one that I wrote last year that the governor signed, that my organization, Circulate San Diego, sponsored, that actually creates, it's required to be adopted statewide, so all cities have to abide by it.
Okay.
And what it means is that if someone wants to build a new apartment building or a new condo building, and they're willing to set aside some of their units as affordable to low and moderate income families, then they get to, and then they get some development certainty on the back end to make sure that their projects can move forward. And so that's, I think, a great model that is going to continue to see the production of these units that are going to be more affordable, while also creating units at the market rate level for folks who are able to afford that and who want to live in those units as well.
Okay, great. So you're interested in a multi-level approach then?
Yeah, we absolutely need to have a approach that addresses people of various different incomes.
Perfect. Thank you. And then with Akila in this position, she did seem to do a lot of parks and recs and community and family organized events and things like that. What are your focuses going to be if you're elected?
Yeah, well, definitely the top thing that I've been hearing about from voters is homelessness and housing affordability. So I want to keep those things very much top in mind. I used to work for Governor Jerry Brown at the State Department of Housing, so I have a little more experience on that front than most folks. Okay. And that's, I think, where we need to make much more priority from the state. We got homelessness in La Mesa, we got it in San Diego, we got it all over the place. And it's not just a problem in my neighborhood, it's a problem throughout California, and we're going to need real statewide solutions.
Okay. And then let's talk a little bit about education and affordability of education. What can you do at the state level if you're elected to help with maybe college prices are, getting higher, as everything is. And there's a push for, free college education. What are your ideas at the state level that you can do for your district here in that regard?
Yeah, I take very much the Jerry Brown model of this, which we have to tell our UC system and our CSU system and our community colleges, but it's less of a problem for them, that they can't solve their problems by just jacking up rates for students. That we need to realize that there are real financial limits to what the state is able to do, and we need to make sure that we're prioritizing accessibility and affordability for students over some of the bells and whistles that sometimes these administrations are trying to do on college campuses.
Right. Okay, great. And then healthcare, that's obviously something that also is costly, and people struggle at certain demographics to get access to. What are your thoughts on, at the state level again, that you can do to give more access to good healthcare to your district?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. So a lot of healthcare that's provided in the state, especially for lower income families and lower income communities, are through our community health clinics, and they get funded. They get some state funding, but they also, or some federal funding, but they also get a lot of their funding from reimbursement rates to providers, and that's something that's actually decided on a state level. And we need to make sure that we're paying appropriately for that, so we can attract more people into that those services, and be willing to provide that health care for the families that need it.
Okay, great. And lastly, what separates you from your opponents?
Yeah, probably experience, right? And so I'm a local elected official, served on the city council for almost 2 full terms now. But beyond that, I also served in the Jerry Brown administration at the State Department of Housing. I've worked in Sacramento. I've worked with the state executive and the legislature, making real public policy changes and improvements, and understand how that process works. But other parts of my day job and my professional life are also relevant to that too. I used to be the director of policy at the San Diego Housing Commission, which is the public housing authority for the city of San Diego. And I also serve currently as the executive director and general counsel at a nonprofit called Circulate San Diego. At Circulate, we do a lot of research and advocacy around affordable housing, safe routes to school, crosswalks, and street safety. And this all of these things, plus the accomplishments that we've had in the city of La Mesa, I think show that I'm going to be ready to hit the ground running if elected, to make a real impact to our community here in the 79th.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the in-depth talk about the things that matter the most to the community here in District 78 or 79. And good luck on your campaign. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, I appreciate it.